What's going on, everybody? Will with Tangible Triumph, life, inspiration, motivation. First of all, I want to send out a thank you to everybody that goes to work and works hard. Happy Labor Day. You are awesome. Send out a special thank you to our doctors, nurses, people that work on the front lines, police officers, and teachers. Thank you to the students that go to school and work real hard. Team Tangible is here to present you with some ideas and tools. Today I want to discuss the ego. The ego is something that's normally looked at pessimistically. A lot of the beliefs about ego are negative, and most of them are somewhat true, but ego can also have a good side to it. I want to start off with explaining my definition of ego, because there's many different definitions of ego and there's plenty of ways that you can interpret ego. I think ego is the cross street where self, personality, and reality collide. You have this middle ground, and the ego really isn't, it's a force, but a stationary force. So you have all these different ideas colliding in one spot, and the ego can either take over these ideas and influence them or be a factor in how they operate. Let's take the sense of self, for example. Self could be full of ego or selfless, and it sounds like a paradox, but when you think of self, you can have ego involved with self and still remain selfless, because the ego is operating in a selfless manner. The ego can also push you to the other extreme where you're selfish, and the ego can determine that your personality trait of being selfish is influenced by the fact that your ego wants attention or whatever the case may be. Our thinking strategies are directly influenced by ego, and the way that you think is up to you, but then you have this stationary force that either has its belief system as well, and that's a separate entity from your actual belief systems. The ego is just a force that tells your value system what to actually believe in. Now look at ego from a reality standpoint of view. The ego can either lie to you or it can tell you the truth. So the ego has a way of either manipulating your conscious mind into believing whatever it allows it to believe, or the ego can help the subconscious speak truth to the conscious mind. And that's the middle road where all of these ideas meet. There's no stop sign at this crossroad between, the sense of self, personality, and reality. And ego is up to you to decide how you let it directly or indirectly influence you, because ego operates in the conscious mind but also subconsciously. It's a driving force, and it could potentially hurt you if you allow it to establish its ground where it shouldn't be. The ego is a powerful substance, and to self-evaluate and keep the ego in check is very important. It can instill gratitude, or it can go to the other extreme and feel granted of, if that makes sense. So basically, let's just establish something here. The tricky part is defining how the ego influences you. The idea here is to keep your ego in check. Evaluate your ego. Have conversations with yourself. Is this okay? Is this not okay? Does X equal Y? Does B plus A equal C? Are there things that you believe that your ego tells you not to believe? Or vice versa? Is your ego speaking truth into your life, and are you pushing that off to the side? Ego stationary. Think of it that way. An ego has a way to either influence you into believing things that aren't true or true, and that's up to you to decipher. What is actually making your decisions for you? I want you to think about that today. With that being said, let's jump into the week on the right foot. Let's soar out and create success. If you need anything, Team Tangible's here for you. Have an awesome day. Peace.